Bow. Here we go. It's another one. We back in here. Another episode of the Runners Club podcast. It's Ian. I'm here. Show up weekly basis. I'm here with my illustrious co-host right here, Courtney Phillips. We in this joint. I can't remember. Did you decide to go by just Courtney like Beyonce, or is it like Courtney Phillips? Like, what are we doing?
I mean, I like Courtney Phillips because there are other Courtneys in the world. There's many, and they're all spelt differently. Also, spelt differently. Do you? I mean, you said Ian, but you're Ian Gonzales. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, it feels weird not saying my last name. I don't know.
You're the one that didn't say it. That's why I'm like, let the people know.
Did I not say Gonzales?
You said I'm Ian, and that's the illustrious Courtney Phillips. So just want to make sure.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I just be out here. Y'all call me what you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. That's all I care about. You feel me? How's your day going?
Pretty good. I am just a couple days out from my half marathon. So, I mean, I'll get into that after we have our conversation. But all around, I'm feeling good. How about you?
I like that. But I was actually starving. I gotta work this out because I do this every single week. Mm-hmm. I get up, I just find my time in the morning and stuff like that. And I don't think about food until like right before it's time to sit down. So I'm either chewing at the beginning of the podcast or like I am starving until the end of the podcast.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, either you learn or repeat it until you figure something out. The patterns we continue to repeat.
I know, right? Oh my God! I know we sitting here waiting for our guest. Let me turn.
Our guest is here, and so we can pop out. Do you have any pre-intro you want to say before we let them in?
No. I'm just really excited for our guest. I'm like, I've been waiting to have her on for a minute. This is a very colorful, exciting person. I know she got the gems, the stories to drop. So I'm just excited to hear what our guest has in store for us today. It's one of my favorite people. Let's bring her in.
All right. We'll be right back.
Boom. Okay, I'm here for the short introductions when we first come into the podcast. We'll be mad excited that we have our guests, and we have our guests in the building right now. The people have been asking, the people have been dialing in, sending in requests for this guest right here. We got the illustrious Kristen Gonzales in here from Tortugas. How you feeling today?
Hi, I'm feeling good. Thank you so much for having me. A beautiful day. So I already did my workout. I started at like 4 a.m. I woke up.
Whoa.
I know. Well, I'm on a time limit because I am a mom. So if my mom has my daughter, like I make the most of not having my daughter. So I was running by 5 a.m. I got like 3 miles in. Then I went and did strength training for an hour with my coach, my strength training coach. And he ended up having me do another mile of laps in between each like set of like lifts, and I was flipping a 400-pound tire today. So like we were like in it. Wow. I was like, I drank an Alani before this, so I would wake back up and I'd be like, all right, I have energy now because it's like I've been up for hours.
Do you take naps?
No, I wish.
Oh my gosh. See, like
we just drink these all day. Like
Alani?
Yeah.
What is that?
So it's an energy drink. I like love these. I swear by these. They power me through marathon training. Mm-hmm. I would pull up to like marathon training at like 5 a.m. and I'd have this much energy, and people would be like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I chugged my Alani. Like, I'm good. I'm wide awake now. It's like 200 milligrams of like caffeine, but you don't get the crash. So they sell them at like Target, Mariano's, Jewel, GNC. You could almost find them anywhere now, even gas stations.
I love this plug because, that's okay.
And the cherry slush is my favorite flavor, and that's the one I always recommend to everybody.
The cherry slush?
Try that one first.
Yes.
Okay, that's fire. You know what? I completely forgot that you were a mom.
Yeah.
I think I've seen, you have a little girl, right?
Yes, she's 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
5, yeah. I think I've seen her one time. Okay, we got to get some play dates together then, because I didn't know that completely forgot. And they like right there with August and stuff like that. We have to bring August to a Tortuga run, okay, for the walk. But how are you able to like balance being a mom and obviously a legit you get up at 4 a.m. for running and strength training? Gee, you a whole ass athlete. So
that's wild.
how are you able to balance being an athlete and a mother and all of the things?
I make the most of my time. And so what happened was like after COVID, I got lazy. I didn't do anything and I put on weight and I was like, all right, back in end of 2021, like 2022, I was like, you have to put yourself first again. Like, because I would take me to the park and I'd be on the struggle bus, like trying to keep up with her because she's just running. Like, even though she's a girl, she has like boy energy and she's like on the go all the time. Like, that's just how our life is. So I'm like, all right, like workouts and runs are now non-negotiable things and I have to get those done. And I just pick apart my days where I'm like, all right, I have from this time to this time. Mila's here. Sometimes she comes to the gym with me. She's a trooper. She's come to the gym with me at 5:30 in the morning. Like if I have a strength training appointment.
Yeah. Is she like napping on like one of the benches?
So sometimes, there's 2 other moms that bring their kids there as well. So sometimes she's up running around having dance party on like the box jump boxes. Like they're in the windows, like, ooh, ooh, like one of those, like early in the morning with the music playing. And as I'm lifting weights, and then her and her friends, like they do their own little workouts they make out because they see us doing things. Or they'll jump on the weight sled to add more weights. But she does have her moments where she's like, I'm just going to go chill in the kids' room and lay on the couch.
Oh,
that's adorable. That's like actually kind of fire that your gym allows y'all to bring your children and even allows them to like kind of be in the same space that you working out with them. Like that's a game changer. That's like a big struggle for parents, especially when it comes down to running, is trying to find time, especially in the morning when you have your child to get out there. I mean, Courtney knows I've had August in the stroller doing my 15 to 20-mile long runs and things like that. Like that's really cool that you have that kind of relationship with that gym. Is this you don't have to like give out the secret sauce or name the gym because they might just be doing that for you because you know you out here, you know, you pop in, but what how I forgot the question I was gonna ask.
Well, I mean,
forgot where I was going.
Do you want a second to think about it?
No, not at all.
Okay. Because I'm like, I have thoughts.
Go ahead. Hit her with the thoughts. I don't know how I just lost my train of thought like that. That is
Well, I guess maybe in that same line of thinking, like, okay, so you're working out of this gym. What is the name of the gym? And then who's your trainer? And like,
so the gym I work out at, I actually live in the suburbs. People think I live in the city. A lot of people think I live in Bridgeport because I'm in Bridgeport a lot, but I'm not. I used to live in the city and then I moved back after I got right before I got pregnant, actually. So I'm right by Payless area, like by Swallow Cliff over here. And the gym I go to is called Chulo Fit, and it's a strength training gym.
You said Chulo Fit?
Chulo Fit, yeah.
Oh my God.
My trainer, his name is Lamont. He beats my ass all the time. But he's great because not only does he service adults, he also works with the youth and he goes to high schools and he trains football players, baseball players in their off season and gets them ready for the following season. Like so many of his athletes right now are getting scholarships to college. And it's just he's so nice. And it's I love going there and they're super friendly and they allow all kids there. Tortugas even came to the burbs one time in the winter and they did a workout and the people were like, I've never got my ass kicked like that before. I was like, this was actually easy. He was nice to you guys.
Wow. I mean, that's fire. I think it is really important for our kids to see us doing these things. I mean, I've seen firsthand how August is impressed with the impression that it leaves on August. Like he's about movement, he's about active, he wants to run, he wants to do these things. So it's teaching our children by doing is really fire. And your daughter has a really dope ass example watching you get your ass kicked in the morning time. So that's continue with that. That's fire. How did you get into running? Was this a pre-pandemic situation or was this like you said you wanted to get back into it after the pandemic?
So yes, I actually started running back in 2010.
Okay.
I just got out of a really bad domestic abusive relationship.
Oh.
And at the time I was living in the city. I just moved up north. I went from like actually Bridgeport. I lived in Bridgeport for a bit, and then I moved up to Uptown. So I was right off the lakefront. It was really nice. I was on Wilson and Sheridan over there.
Oh yeah.
And my one friend, she asked me, she's like, hey, like she ran marathons, but at the time I had no idea what marathon was. She asked me and a few of my coworkers, like, do you guys want to do this 5K? It was like the hot chocolate 5K. And I was like, sure. Like, she's like, I'll make you training plans, everything. So I followed the training plan, ended up losing like 20 pounds, like in between the 6 weeks. I got like some confidence back. So I was like, oh, like this is cool. I ran the race. I ended up running the race. Out of the 4 of us who were supposed to run it, I was the only one. One girl did not show up at all. Wow. My other friend, she went 2 blocks and then she detoured off the road and was waiting at me for Starbucks for me to like meet up with her. And she was like, yeah, no, like I didn't do it. And then the other one who ran the marathon, she did it. But the funny thing was, it was my first race ever. And somehow I ended up in the first corral. Don't know how it happened.
What?
So when they took off, I was like, what is going on? Like, thankfully hot chocolate was like more friendly vibes. But I was like, still, I'm like, these people are fast. And my friend who ran the marathon, she came up from behind me. She's like, how did you get in front of me? I'm like, I don't know. I just like jumped in a corral and that's where I started. So I got hooked instantly off of that feeling, like that runner's high. Like I hit it and I was like, this was fun. So I went on and did the Santa Hustle like the following month. And then I started just continuously running all through the winter months. And then in 2011, like in the spring, because at the time I worked at Starbucks, I was talking to my customers and I was like, I'm thinking about signing up for the marathon because at then like it wasn't as popular and you could sign up in like June for the marathon. So I was like, I'm thinking about running the marathon. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. And my one customer is like, I'll do it with you. And I was like, okay. Like, so we signed up. Yeah, it was so random. Trained with her the whole time. I ended up going on to losing like 90 pounds that year by the time I hit my marathon in 2011. And it was a hard marathon. I would say definitely like with me losing weight, I wasn't like fueling my body properly either. I was eating like a lot, way less than what I should have been. I got dehydrated at mile 17. It was the worst pain of my life. Like to this day, that pain haunts me kind of thing. Like I never want to feel that pain ever. So then I went on, ran it. I had a blast with the marathon. 3 days later, I already knew I was running it the following year. Like I was like, I'm doing this again.
I love it.
So I did it in 2012. And then that was actually my fastest marathon to date. I did it in like 5 hours and 53 minutes. And after I finished that marathon, my knee was starting to bother me a little bit, but I was ignoring it, of course, you know. I was doing no strength training really at the time.
Yeah.
And then I pushed it again. I ran in 2013. And then after the 2013 marathon, I was like beat up bad. So I couldn't run. I ended up taking 4 years off of no running.
Okay.
And I like chilled out. I went just straight to strength training, building up. 2017 came around and I was like, you know what? Like, I think I want to run the marathon again. Because if I'm going to run a distance, I'm going to run the marathon. I do not like short distance races because I have to run faster. So like the marathon is my distance. Like I just love it.
Oh, yeah.
So I signed up.
The marathon is where it's at.
Yeah. So I signed up for 2017, still not knowing anybody. And then I was training, everything was going great. And then boom, I got pregnant. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Because I was wondering why my runs were getting harder too. So I was like, why am I out of breath? I'm like, this is rough.
How far along were you when you realized that you were pregnant?
I was like 3 months pregnant at the time.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I started getting like winded and I'd be like, what is going on here? I kept running and I was like, well, maybe I could push it. Cause like now we were in July and I had a half marathon coming up and I was like, I'm going to see how I do in the half. And then like, we'll figure it out from there. I ran the half and I was like, there's no way I'm doing the full. Like,
oh my God.
I'm like, I'd be way bigger. Like I'll be out of breath. Yeah. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So I ended up deferring until 2018. So I had Mila in March of 2018. And then I did my 2 months of like nothing, but I worked out my whole pregnancy. Like I lifted even the day I went into labor. Like I was in the gym consistently.
Wow.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, they say like if you what you was doing before you can do during. That's true, right?
Yeah. My doctor just didn't want me running as much. She's like, cut the running out. So like I would do like the elliptical instead. So it wasn't as much like bounce. But I just stayed lifting the whole time. Like I was 9 months pregnant at a squat rack. Like that was just me.
Oh my God. Just gonna drop the baby.
Yeah. I'm like, the day I went in, I'm like, they're like, how was your day? I'm like, great. I just finished at the gym. They're like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, that's just how I am.
That's why that baby be moving now.
Then I ended up running the 2018 marathon. I was 6 months postpartum when I ran it, and that was my hardest marathon. Like I was so beat up. I think my longest long run was 16 miles because I couldn't get training in, and I was trying to figure out mom life at that time.
Yeah.
So it was a wild one, but I was like determined. I was like, I said I was going to do it. I'm one of those people, if I say I'm doing something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I did it then.
Hold on.
And
then wait. We gotta stop because it's just so many things happening here that I feel like we need to unpack for a sec, okay? Because we done went from you getting out of this relationship and living on the lakefront, living your best life, to now you a whole ass mom, out here trying to see if you can go from a half marathon to a full while you pregnant, okay? Can I take a step back to Starbucks first and foremost? Like,
yes.
Are you still friends with this stranger that you decided to start training with? Like, how does that happen?
I'm not friends. I'm a very friendly person. Like I would see 100 faces per half hour at Starbucks. Like it was just so busy, and I built that connection with my customers, and they loved me. And I had one customer. He was like so excited I was running it, and he was like he ran multiple marathons, and like so many people were just asking me. But I just always I build a good, genuine connection with people when I meet them.
That's pretty fire. That's pretty fire. So you train with this. Did you actually end up training with this person for the full like training cycle? Because it was just like 18, 20 weeks.
Yeah. So we trained the whole cycle because her and I were building up races too. Like we ran a few halves before. We did the Soldier Field 10 miler in May. We did a half in June. And then we did the 20 miler. Like we did all of our training runs together. We did the 20 miler together. And then we completed the full marathon together. And she was with me on the full marathon. Like we were keeping pace with each other until I hit 17 and I was in pain. And I told her, I was like, just keep going. Like, I'll be fine. You go.
Is that, I mean, and all of the progress that you've made with running, from what I'm hearing, it seems like you found a lot of confidence after being in an abusive relationship, after like, I'm sure getting the courage to leave, to then finding something that like made you feel better and like, about yourself, probably mentally and physically. Like I can only imagine what that transformation looked like. Like, can you, I guess, like, is that something that continues to motivate you? Like, how has it kind of informed the way you've interacted with running?
I would definitely say like, yes, it did give me more confidence, and I've learned to like not let little things like just keep me down that way either. Because what a lot of people don't know is not only am I just a mom, I'm a single mom. Mila's dad is not involved at all. Like she is fully funded by me. Like
I like that fully funded.
Like we're bringing it all. Like, yeah. So like I hit like another bump in the road, like being a single mom. And it's really hard, but I'm like, okay, if I mope, like I'm the type of person, if I sit around and mope about it, like what's that gonna do? Nothing. So let's figure out how I can do this and still be me, but also be a mom. And that's when I knew once I had her, I was like, running is the one thing I can do to keep going and like bring her along with me, because she was a baby and I was pushing her in the stroller. Like it was something easy I could do, because at the time the gym, it wasn't something I was able to do all the time. But running has always been there where I'm like, okay, I could do running.
Yeah. Running definitely provides that flexibility. I love that.
So you're running, and what I guess like at this point it seems like in your story you're about to meet like Davey and Tortugas. Is that correct?
Not yet. We're at like 2019. Okay. So I ran the marathon again, but me and David became Instagram friends.
we got 3 marathons under. We have 3 marathons under your belt at this point, or 4?
5.
5 when you
5.
when you go to Tortugas?
Yeah, I had 5. Last year was 6.
Wow. I did not know this.
That's major.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah. But, and also, I guess too, like, okay, so you had these 5 marathons, but that's not it. You were also running half marathons. You also did the hot chocolate. I haven't even heard of the Santa Claus one that you mentioned. Like,
which is a tough race.
What is that? When is it? And what is it?
It's in December. It's a 5K. It was like raining and hailing and all snowing.
Was it still around
things.
Soldiers Field?
No, at this time it was around Montrose Harbor.
Oh, okay. Okay, I might be thinking of a different one.
You were getting the lake effect off of it too.
Yeah, and I guess for our listeners too, like this is about Chicago races. You are from, I'm assuming, born and raised in Chicago or around the surrounding areas, just to give people context, because you also mentioned the marathon, how easy it was to pop into it. And it's just like, yeah, the Chicago Marathon is not easy. Like, as a matter of like a couple of years, it's like, everyone's like, who's got a bib?
Exactly. Yeah.
This lottery, ain't it?
No, I think back in like 2011, the marathon was literally open till like August.
Wow.
Like, and I don't even know if it was sold out then. So I met David virtually on Instagram in 2019 because we both started going to another run club at Healthy Hood called the Hood Run Club.
I remember that.
I was running there with them when they were like training to do the 5K before the marathon. David came after that, so we never met in real life. We just kept missing each other, but we connected on Instagram. So then COVID happened, and then we didn't do anything at all. Like, it just, everything fell apart. I got lazy. 2021, I watched the marathon, and I was like, okay, like, I need to get back out there again. Like, I got that urge. So I was like, let me go. And then finally in like October of 2021, I met David in real life for the first time at a grocery run club event. For the Day of the Dead one, when they did it. So we met up there. And then
I just say one thing real quick? Yeah. These moments of rest, you're not lazy. It's rest and recovery. Sometimes we have to take a break. It's also like the pandemic like affected athletes so much in a way that a lot of us don't even fully credit. And so it's like, I guess just for that and for our listeners, it's like, that's not being lazy. That's like you doing what you need to do for yourself. And running is always going to be there. You can always come back to it.
Exactly. So then finally, like 2022, I started like going to Tortugas in the spring. Like, I ran once before the shuffle, and then I just continued going. But I was like, kind of like, I'd go 1 week, miss 2 weeks, 1 week, miss 2 weeks, just because I didn't have a sitter all the time. So I was like, all right, like, I want to keep going. I feel good when I go. I get some adult interaction, and I'm not talking to a toddler all day. So I'm like, how am I going to make this work? And I was like, well, I have a running stroller. Like, maybe I'll just pull up with the running stroller with her. But at the time, I didn't see anybody come with a running stroller. So I'm like, well, they're either going to accept me or they're going to look at me like I'm nuts. So one Sunday, I just rolled up with Mila, and they're like very accepting. They're like, oh, that's your kid? I'm like, yeah. And since then, after the week after, like, another mom came with her kid in the stroller then, and it was like a more welcoming thing. So I'm like, all right, great. Like, I'm not alone in this. And then I just continued going and showing up with Tortugas. And then it was June of last year. I ended up getting an email sent to me asking if I wanted to go to New York for 4 days and do a Nike photo shoot. And it said I was going with David. And I had no idea. And the funny thing was, like, me and David, like I said, we were virtual friends on IG. Like, when he started the run club, I'm like, dude, we got to keep showing up. Like, we both need to be in a Nike ad. Like, we're bigger people. Like, let's show them, like, we can run too. Like, we talked about this for like a whole year prior to it happening. Wow. So then when we both got the email, and we didn't know each other was going to be in the email and we were going to go together, we both like called each other. We're like, oh my God, like, this really happened.
Wow.
That's
like,
fire.
It was crazy. So then we went to New York, and then we did our shoot. It was a lot of fun. And then we just kept running, and then the marathon came.
Yeah.
You got questions before the marathon?
Wait. Yeah, I do, because like, okay. I'm gonna get a little messy for a second. Healthy Hood. Let's go back to Healthy Hood and stuff like that. So y'all didn't know each other at Healthy Hood. Y'all didn't meet at no workout or anything like that. Somebody just slid in somebody's DM is what I heard. That's what I heard.
Basically, yes. Like one of us like responded like to like one of each other's stories, like, oh, like good job kind of thing. And that was it.
And then y'all been friends ever since.
And then we've been people think we've known each other for years, and I'm like, no. Like
that's literally
me and David just like physically met in the beginning of 2022. Like that's it.
That's what? Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool beans. I ain't gonna go no further with the question. I just was wondering because that's what I heard.
Not that I'm gonna be messy, but I was like, "Where's the D?" And then you gave us a little drip. I'm like, "Wait, what?"
No, there's been so many people think David's the biggest cock block ever. Like ever since that Nike ad came out, he has like cock blocked me so bad, and I'm like, "Can you go public with a girlfriend already? Because like you're killing me. Like no guy will talk to me because of you." And the best part was I was talking to somebody last like summer, and when my ad came out, he thought I was dating David, and I just didn't tell him, and I did him bogus, and he stopped talking to me. And I was like, "Are you
kidding?" If he was your ex, and if he was your ex, that would have been like, this has nothing to do with you.
No, but I was just like, I told David, I'm like, I really need you to get a girlfriend and like go on the gram with her or something because you're killing.
Figure it out.
I know so many people thought we were dating. They either think we're dating or they think like we're family.
Okay.
I thought, I'm gonna say, I thought you were family. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I literally, because when we had David on, he was saying how familial Tortugas is. And so I'm like, okay, so like, and he was saying like, that's my family. These are my cousins. And I was like, okay, so is Kristen also a cousin? Like what is the connection? But now I understand. Okay. You guys are just real good friends. You kick it. I mean, like me and Ian are good friends. Like it's just, you know,
just like that.
Sometimes the DMs create friendships and not other things. I'm
exactly.
Okay.
It's about, because making friends as an adult, it's weird. So sometimes you gotta hop in somebody's DM and be like, "Hey, great job, you did great."
I'm like the queen of DM slides actually, because like I will slide into whoever's DM and I'll be like, "Yo, what's up?" And like, because if David would be like, "Hey, slide in this one's DMs, like see what's up with them," and I'm like, "Okay," like I go and do it, or even like for my own personal interest, I'm like, "So like, how's it going?" And I'll DM slide all day.
All right, well, y'all heard it here first. Kristen is out here, okay? She getting miles, and she looking for a runner buddy. You feel me? So pull up properly though, respectfully, okay? All right, okay, cool beans. Okay, we got past that because that has definitely been on the table for me for a while now, and realizing that y'all wasn't related, I was like, oh, but they mad friendly, so they not saying nothing.
Wow.
But then they're talking about DMs. So I'm like, okay, well. Here's my opportunity. So you meet him in person, you run him with Tortugas, the mom squad is popping, we got the strollers out here. We reached the marathon of last year. This is when personally you popped up on my radar and stuff like that, because a Nike ad, of course, and stuff like that. But then like you and Davey for the marathon, tell us a little bit about this situation and what sparked this running beef with you and Davey for the marathon.
Okay. So for like the marathon, like I knew I was nowhere in like PR shape at all. So I asked David, like, cause we and him were training the whole time together. I was like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I just want to finish. And I'm like, all right, like I'll get you to the finish. Like I'll help you. Like I'll be there with you the whole way.
You said, I did this. I've done this. I've been here before. Okay. What do you need from me? I got you. I'll bring you to the end. I love it.
Basically, that's how it went. So like he was super nervous, like race morning and everything. We ended up going out hot, which I knew was going to happen. Like every mile we were clocking, I'm like, slow down, slow down, slow down. Like I had to keep telling him that because we were just going too fast. And I was like, we're going to burn. We're going to crash and burn. And it's not going to be good early on. We were going, everything was great. Mile 7. So the one rule I told David, because David likes to stop and take a lot of bathroom breaks during marathon training. I'm like, we are not stopping to use the bathroom on the course, just so you know, like you better get everything out now. I'm just telling you. Mile 7 rolls around. I'm like, I see porta potties. I'm like, I really got to like pee. I'm like, David, you got to go to the bathroom? He's like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm like, I'll keep going. Maybe I'll sweat it out or something. Like, he might have to go a few miles down the road. He never ended up having to go. Mile 8 pulls up. We're at mile 8. I could tell his breathing was off. It just wasn't going really well. And he was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. He's like, I just can't get out of my head. And I like turned and looked at him and I was like, what? I was like, stop being a fucking bitch and get out your fucking head. Like, we're at mile 8. We got 18 more miles to go.
No, you just started, homie. We ain't even halfway there.
Yeah. So after I said it, he's like, okay. And I said it and I was like, ooh, that was harsh. Like, we never spoke like that to each other before. But I'm like, I don't have time for you to go out now. Like,
it's race day. We on the course.
It is not the time. So like the miles were going in, it was like 9, 10. As soon as we hit 10, I see tears coming down his cheeks and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, he's hurt. I was like, let me be nice. So I was like, let's just walk it out for a bit. So like we walked it out, hit the halfway mark. Like we clocked like the fastest half him and I ever ran. Finally, we like made it to Peace Runners at mile 16 and like Mama Hoffman like came running up. She saw me and she's like, gave me a hug. And I'm like, I appreciate you giving me the hug, but give this man some loving behind me because he's in way worse shape than me.
Yeah.
Saw her. And then he's like, all right, the next stop is Coach Robin. She's at mile 18. We saw Coach Robin. He's like, I feel like shit. She's like, everybody at this point looks like shit. So you ain't alone, buddy. Like she gave him pickles and goos and she's like, go on with your way. Like keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
So then we finally hit mile 19 Pilsen, which it was funny. 2 weeks prior, this one girl asked me who runs with us. She's like, hey, like, what do you want me to have ready for you in Pilsen? And I was like, tequila. Just have tequila ready.
Not the tequila.
So as soon as we turn onto 18th and Loomis, it's Venados, and she's right there with Venados. The girl did not disappoint. She popped open a fresh bottle of Patron and just handed it to me.
What?
Not the whole bottle.
Yeah, the whole bottle, like a big regular size bottle. She passed it to me. I was like, I had 19 miles with this man. Like, give me some tequila, please. I like chug it and I'm like deep chugging it. Like I did a good 5-second chug. I'm not going to lie. I go to give it back. As I go to give it back, David pulls it out of my hand and I looked at him like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't know if this is the move for you, but he took it. And as he took it, he took like a bitch ass sip. Okay. Like he was like pinky up, like just like
he was trying to meet your energy.
Yeah, no, he like took like, he did like a half-C shot for sure. And I was just like, okay. So we continued running. We're going down 18th Street. We're like 3 blocks away from the crew and everything. And prior to this, one of my good friends, Lolly, she reached out to me and she's like, because she ran the marathon before. She's like, do you guys need anything? I'm like, dude, we're in really bad shape. Like nobody knew how bad shape David was. I only told her because I knew she wasn't going to tell anybody. And I was like, have bananas ready, have Advil, pretzels. I'm like, if you have any more energy gels around there, anything you got, you're going to have to hand it to me on this tape, like on this handoff. So we finally meet up with the crew. David's mom greeted us first, gave me a hug. And she's like, I knew it was bad. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, go help him. Like, so I like ran through. I'm like, I totally forgot I'm supposed to be looking for my friend to give me stuff on the handoff. Cause like the crew was just hyping me up. So I'm like flying through and I took off out of nowhere. The whole crew swarmed into the street. Like we're like 30 people deep running down the street. I totally forgot about my friend. Mind you, she also has a broken foot and she's in a boot chasing me down 18th Street now, trying to give me stuff to hand off. She's like, you asshole, you made me run with a broken foot. And I'm like, I'm sorry. So as we're running down, one of this other guys, like, because David was right behind me and another guy was behind him and they're all trying to hype him up. And the funny thing was, like, I was trying to talk to him at the one point and I saw him and I was like, oh, corner of my eye, like, there was the other guy that I was talking to before he stopped talking to me. He's a Chicago policeman. He patrols the Pilsen neighborhood. He's waiting for me and he's like waving like, hey girl. And I like, so I dart over to him, forgetting about the other guy that I was talking to behind me. And he's like, I've been waiting for you. Like, he's like, I've been tracking you, everything. And I was like, oh, cool. Like we were talking and I was like, all right, well, I got to go. I got to catch up to David now. And then when I cut over and I was like, I'm like, oh, dude's still behind David. Like he totally saw this whole encounter, but whatever. So I was like, I'm like, it is what it is.
Kristen out here.
not you leading the way and also macking halfway through and taking shots.
What is this? This is not a race.
So then we're still going down 18th. The crew finally left out of nowhere. We call him Cousin Pablo. It's David's cousin. He pops out of nowhere. He always pops up out of nowhere. He has a blunt in his hand. He's like, y'all want to take a hit? And I'm like, no. Like, I'm good right now.
Not okay.
Yeah. So he pops in. We run past 3, run 2. After that, it was a dead zone. And that's when I started getting... It was 21.
Okay.
So it was bad. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, all right, this is not good. I'm texting everybody from the crew like, yo, I know you just ran the marathon, but I need you to be at mile 23 because I don't know if this man, like, I need help. Like, I'm getting him this far, but I'm like, I really need help at this point. So,
that last 5K was epic.
Nobody's responding. So I'm like, are they just ignoring me? Like, this is so rude. So we get to Chinatown and like me and David, like, I'm hot. I still haven't used the bathroom, mind you. Like, I'm still holding it. So I'm like dying at this point. And then I like see something like bright and yellow, like on the corner of my eye. And I'm like, am I hallucinating? Like, is that Jess? It ended up being Jess. She was waiting for us. She's like, I'm going to do the last like few miles with you. She ended up being the runner for us. And like, she would run to the aid stations. Cause like at that time I was getting like real exhausted. I started getting blisters on my feet, which I never ever got blisters. I don't know what happened that day.
Right. I'm like, I feel like the tequila's hitting at this point. I feel like
the tequila
is taking influence.
The problem was, like I was like going through like basically like it was like the like downhill. I was like, yeah, the tequila's wearing off. Like this is not fun anymore.
Wearing off.
Yeah, like it was hitting really good in Pilsen. Like it, I think because I was out for so long, I was like during Pilsen time, I was like in my prime. So then I see Jess, and then we saw her, and she was helping us. And Jess was like, honestly, like you guys are in bad shape. She's like, had I not shown up, I thought I was gonna find David's body in a river. I'm like, I know, I was probably ready to kill him at that point. Cause I was like, dude, I'm like, we have to keep walking. Like David, he was like, he walks slower. And I'm like, I need you to walk a little faster. And he's like, just
power walk. If we're walking,
yes, he's like lounge walking. I'm like, if I have to carry this man on my back to the finish, like this is what we're gonna do today. Finally see my daughter. She's waiting for me at mile like 22 and a half, right before we got to 23.
Yeah.
And I saw her, I ran up early on her. And she's like crying because she can't come with me to run. And I'm like, no, like you have to stay. She's like, but I want to run the race too. And I'm like, you can't.
Yeah.
So we finally turned the corner, hit you guys at mile 23. And then thankfully, Karen, this is where Karen came into play. Like Friday night, I told Karen, I was like, I heard you guys are going to have some adult grapefruit beverages at this mile 23. I go, save me a cup. And she goes, okay.
Shout out to the Topo Chico spritzers as well, just saying.
So she's like, okay. So when I pulled up on her, she's like, I saved you wine, but I wasn't really sure if you really wanted wine or like kids grapefruit juice. And I was like, no, girl, give me the wine. Like she did not disappoint. You'll even see me running down the street at that point with David in a glass of wine in my hand. Like I was just like, I need it at this point.
You were like, I'm tired of running this race with this man.
At 24, I ended up having Tim Rossi. Like I was messaging him the whole way. I spoke to him like a few weeks prior and I was like, hey, like I'm running with David, all this stuff. He's like, all right, like I'm going to pop in on your race at some point. And I'm like, cool. He ended up popping in at 24 and we're walking and talking as we're like making our way to the finish. Mind you, now we're like 30 people deep because they're all just in the street with
us. A lot of people from our cheer section just went with them the rest of the race. Like just left with them. It was crazy.
And then I remember we hit like mile 25 and I was like, David, only one more mile and up a hill and we're at the finish. He's like, Kristen, shut the fuck up. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, Tim was like, maybe now's not the time to tell him he has to go up a hill. And I was like,
just let it get calm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I called him a bitch at mile 8. Like we're even kind of thing.
We're even.
So then we ended up finishing the marathon. He ended up crossing. There's a famous picture of me pushing him in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
it is now on shirts.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I love it. And it was cool because like the entire like caravan that y'all had was able to cross the finish line. And that's
I was like
not even okay. Like they don't even allow that to happen.
No.
Like when I spoke to some people from CM and they found out about it, like of course months later, and I was on the conversation and stuff. It's like, oh, we didn't know that happened. That's not.
They crossed the finish line with you guys?
The whole
Yes,
caravan.
and they let us bring our flagpole with us too across the finish.
Oh my God, that's crazy because it usually like the like the side fences, they'll angle them in and make it like a small little entrance so that you can go and turn up the hill and go through. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought for sure they were gonna get cut off at Roosevelt, and they didn't. They just like let them keep going.
The officials never pulled them out.
And I held the pee until we crossed the finish line. Like it was like
the whole way.
The whole way without peeing. It got so bad. So then we crossed the finish line. David's like really hurt. He's getting a cramp in his leg. I'm pushing him in the wheelchair. Everyone's like, Kristen, take him to the medic tent. No one knows I have to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay. So I take him to the medic tent. They're like, you have to go. Like, you can only go for so far. I'm like, all right, cool. I go, all my stuff's at the Congress Hotel because I stayed there. I don't know why I didn't think to use a porta potty in this facility. I walked across the street to the Congress. And then out of nowhere, as soon as I get in the Congress, like I just feel like a trickle coming down, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. So I'm like running down the hall. Like my pee just was not like at that point, I couldn't hold it anymore. It was like going. And I was like, that's not healthy. I'm like, okay. I was like, this man about killed me.
I mean, at that point, with the way he was walking, you guys you could have went to the bathroom, you know what I mean? You just
I was afraid, in all honesty. This is why I did not leave him, because people are like, why didn't you leave him catch up? You would have caught up. I go, I know, but here was my thing. I knew if I left him, he would have went to the medic tent. He would have went to the medic tent and stopped.
Yeah.
And then if he made me run 15 miles by myself, I would have been pissed. And I was like, no, we said we were going to start and finish together. That's what we're doing.
That's what friends do.
That is what friends do. You got to be there for each other. That's wild. That's like a story and proof of like, if you have someone with you pushing you, you'll go further.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But then, okay, so that's Chicago. There was a completely different interaction come Shamrock a few months later.
March.
Yes.
So at the Run Too Hard party in December,
which was lit.
It was lit, and I had drinks in me, so I was getting a little feisty.
Wow.
So David said to me 2 weeks after the marathon, he's like, I told everyone, like, you could beat me in a long distance race, but in a short distance race, I'm going to smoke you. So I like let it marinate for a good like 6 weeks until this party. I was like, that's fucking rude as shit. I just helped you. Yes, he said that to me. I'm like,
after all these miles that I helped you with, all the tequila I took, me peeing on myself, I'd be like, nah, bruh.
He's like, to this day, he's like, I was delusional. I don't know. I still was like days from the marathon. I was like, it was 2 weeks after the marathon. What are you talking about? And he's like, I don't know. So we get to the party and I was like, hey, I'm like, you said you could smoke me in a shorter distance race. I'm like, we're racing the Shamrock Shuffle. And he was like all pulled back. He's like, because none of the guys ever really see me like yell and be like more like feisty. Yeah. They think I'm just this really nice person, which for the most part I am. Mm-hmm. So I surprised them, and then they're like, "Ooh, let's bet something. What are we gonna bet? Let's bet dinner." And I was like, "Okay, fine. Dinner at STK Steakhouse. Like, loser has to buy."
That's not cheap, people.
It is not.
So we ended up like all winter. I'm like, I'm not losing this because I can't afford to pay this bill. So I'm like grinding all winter long. I'm heavy lifting, like building up my strength training. I'm running the miles, race up to this thing. He's also making trash talking videos about me, like too. One time, like at a Tortugas run, my hip was bothering me. Me and him, like I ran like the first mile, then like the second mile, I was like, my hip was hurting. So I was like, all right, like I'm just going to walk. We're walking for a good 5 blocks. We're literally 3 blocks away from like the finish. He just darts and takes off. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I get back. He's like, I beat Kristen. I told you guys I could beat Kristen. He makes a trash talking video. In this trash talking video, he gets like a can he finds in the alley, tries to smash the can, didn't even smash it, right? It was like sideways and it went flying across the road. I'm like, do you not even know how to crush a can? Like, what are you doing? So he makes this video. And then he's like, and he did like other videos too, and like memes of like how he's gonna like beat me. And I'm just like letting him do all the talking. And I'm like, I'm just going to keep working. And like, even my trainer, Lamont, he's like, when he would have me do sprints, he's like, David's right behind you. Keep going. David's right behind you. So it was like all winter building up to this. So we get to the shuffle day. And then he's in Corral F. I was in Corral G. So we weren't going to know who won until we both crossed the finish line. Like, that's just how it was going to go. Because we knew if we started next to each other, it was just going to be like fight all the way on this. And then nobody knows this because it's still kind of quiet. David went on Channel 2 News. Like, he got interviewed right before the shuffle. And he went on the news and said, "Oh, I'm racing against my good friend Kristen Gonzales, and I'm going to smoke her."
No, no.
Oh yeah, like he told this on TV.
I found confidence.
Yes,
I just don't understand how he said he got bucked and said it, and then was like, "Oh, I was delusional," and then leaned all the way in,
all the way.
So he goes on the news, says this to the people on the news, and he told me about it. He's like, "Yeah, I told them on Channel 2 News I'm going to smoke you," and they thought it was funny. They started laughing. I'm like, I was like, you know what? I was thinking about taking it easy, but now we're just not. Like, here we go.
I gotta prove. Now I have to prove something.
Yes. So we take off. The first two. Thing about me, shorter distance races are terrible. Like, I just hurt. Like, the first 2 miles are not fun. My body aches. Like, it's just not a good time. It takes my body like a good 3 miles to start feeling good. That's why I like the longer distance. Mm-hmm. So 2 miles in, my shins are burning, and I'm like pacing with my friend Martha. She's pacing me along the way. We're hitting our times. We're clocking them in. We're at like between 2 and 2.5 out of nowhere. Guess who I see?
No.
I see my boy David. He's walking.
Oh.
He was walking on the sidewalk.
Did he start in a crowd earlier than
ahead of me? He was in F.
Yes.
Okay.
He was in F. I was in G. I caught him. I went past and I snuck up behind him. And as I snuck up behind you, he saw me. He's like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Toodaloo, motherfucker!" And like I never looked back.
Now my man's walking. No,
that's right.
Okay, so how was the steak?
I still haven't gotten the steak. I beat him by 11 minutes.
What?
I told him if he doesn't pay up the steak soon, like, we're just gonna have to top it with another pair of Oakleys, like, on top of the steak. So, like, you better start paying soon.
Right. You set the reservation. Let's do this. Like,
let's make this happen. Like, come on, Davey.
What's the problem?
You're a man of your word.
Because now now it's been said on the podcast. So all your friends gonna hear it. Okay. So now people gotta hold you accountable.
Yes. I love it. 11 minutes. Oh yeah, come on, Davey. You got.
That's all he had to keep hearing at the celebration too. Like, we walked because we had an after party that we hosted.
I know, I'm mad. I missed it.
And Karen actually messaged me as soon as like the shuffle. She's like, "So how did you do?" I was like, 11 minutes. She's like, "My girl."
Yes.
So the whole like after party, like all you kept hearing me say was like 11 minutes. Like, the guys were teasing me about it because they're like, "We just kept hearing you say 11 minutes." I was like, "That's because I beat him by 11 minutes. Like, I'm proud of it."
Wow.
So then the best part was about the news clip he made. I ended up doing like a side-by-side of him with the news clip saying he's going to smoke me. And then somebody was recording me when I was running saying "Toodaloo, motherfucker" to him. Oh. And we have them like right after each other. And it was like, we were laughing about that one too for a while.
I need this. Please share it with us so that we can put it on our Instagram page. You know what I mean? Just as another reminder that you need your steak.
Yes.
I'm here for that. Well, listen, I love it. Journey sounds fun. I mean, I'm happy to hear. Like, I didn't know you like are at 6 marathons now. Like, that's super cool. It sounds like a bunch of 5Ks under your belts if you have marathons. What's cracking for the future? Like, where are we going?
So I officially started training with Coach Robin. We are going for a PR this season for marathon number 7. I will be running the Chicago again. Like, I just love the Chicago Marathon. Like, people, you either love it or you hate it, but I like love it. Like, I live for the marathon day. Like, that's my Christmas. So I'm training with her. I'm training with Lamont for my strength training, and like with the both of them, like, I'm super excited to see. Like, I definitely want a PR. My fastest one was a 5:53. I'm shooting for a 5:45 as goal 1, but really I'm going for goal 2, which is like 5:20. Like, that's me getting real spicy. on it for me because like I'm a bigger girl. Like I can only run so fast kind of thing. So if like 5:20 for me would be like top, like you did it kind of thing.
Amazing.
Is there a goal to lose weight, whether it's for personal reasons or just for the sake of the sport of getting faster and running? Like, is that something that you're looking forward to doing, or is it like you as long as you're healthy? Like, what does that look like?
So I definitely like my main goal is to be healthy because I've also lost weight where it wasn't the healthy way. And it was like I would literally be in the gym for like 4 hours a day, eating 1,200 calories, like, and that's what caused my injury back in like 2013. Like I learned from that, like, I don't want to do that route again and like crash diet and all that. So definitely like learning how to eat better and then training like smarter. Cause like I wasn't strength training then either. So the strength training will definitely play a bigger part. And I do like my goal is to be like, I told David actually yesterday, I was like, I want to be like 30 pounds lighter come marathon time. Cause I was like, then I'm like pre-baby weight. Like, and I haven't seen that since like a minute. So I was like, I'm bringing it.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you have a really well-rounded training, like environment around you. Like since you've been doing this for over 10 years, like you've had an opportunity to learn. I mean, your journey sounds so familiar to like me and to other people that I've heard stories from, as far as just like figuring out what's best for your body and what's clearly not working, and finding a community that is like perfect for you. Like it's just seems like the natural maturation of like being a runner, and like an everyday runner, I'll say, that like a runner that's going to be doing this for a long time.
Yeah. My mom keeps asking me, she's like, can you just slow down and like not run so many? And I was like, I don't know. Like, it's just like what I love. Like the marathon's my distance. If I'm going to run a race, that's it kind of thing. And I also have like another goal too for this season. I told David, I'm like, I want to be the most improved Tortuga from last year. Like that's my other goal. Like I want to be, so when I come running past, they'll be like, damn, your girl's fast. And like, she's bigger, but yeah, she's fast.
Yeah. That's fire. Listen, I saw your IG video, like I think it was yesterday actually, but you were doing a row on a machine. Courtney, she had all the plates.
Oh,
she was lifting all the plates.
Oh my
like
God.
leaving no plate behind. Like all of the plates. Like this is an athlete right here.
Wow. Yeah. I'm gonna have to start paying attention to your strength content, because clearly I need to be inspired. I could be doing a lot more strength. So you've been doing what's your schedule like? Like how often are you doing your strength? What do you like? How often are you running?
So my schedule's actually really hectic. People don't know, like I literally work like 55 to 60 hours a week, just regular work wise. Cause I work 2 jobs too, single mom life. You got to pay for daycare, like bills, like, so I have to work 2 jobs. So I work my regular, like 8:30 to 5. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, I also work, my second job. So I won't get home until like 10:30, sometimes 11. So I've been kind of taking those either as rest days, or I'll do like a short 2-mile run on those days. Strength training is always Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then with Coach Robin, we've actually changed it up where I'm running before I do strength training. So that's why I woke up today at like 4 a.m. So I got my run in before my like workout with Lamont. And then I did an hour with him. And I clocked in like a whole nother mile doing laps in between them. And then Fridays, and then also Saturday and Sunday. Saturday for the long run, and then Sundays Tortugas. So it's the community workout. If someone wants to run with me, like I'm always like up to go run with them. Or if they just want to chill, I usually go to a lot of newer runners who are girls because they'll be intimidated, and I help them get moving. Like starting from a walk, like we'll do like 1 minute walk, 1 minute run, 1 minute walk, like until they build up that thing, and then we like extend it a little bit more. And I'm always there to help like the other moms who come with strollers too, to get them moving and running with strollers. So Saturday or Sundays are always my community day. So I never like know what pace I'm going to run, but that's my schedule.
Love that.
Yeah. No, so, that's I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so I mean, you clearly love Chicago. You love running in Chicago. You love the races in Chicago. Do you want to run anything outside of Chicago as far as like, sanctioned races?
Tortugas is taking a trip to Mexico City actually in July. So I'm running my first like international half marathon, which I'm super duper nervous about because I just found out it's super hilly. And the one guy from Mexico City, he's like, at mile like 7.5, he's like, it's a 2-mile incline. Like you're running uphill for 2 miles straight. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I usually walk hills. Like for a 2-mile incline, like that's a lot. I'm like, I told David, I said,
definitely walking.
That chair section is looking nicer and nicer for me in Mexico City.
Well, and two, I think what I've heard, especially for the marathon in Mexico City, is the elevation doesn't get put into account for a lot of people coming internationally. So I mean, it'll be fun though. It'll be great. It'll be
it's gonna be a fun after party.
Half. Oh yeah, true. And it's a half, so it's like you can do that.
Yeah, and then you want to run New York, like that is on the bucket list. I'm trying to possibly see if I can get something where I could do Chicago and New York back to back this year. So that's what I'm working on.
Wow.
Listen, I love to hear it. Thank you for sharing with us. We will be following your journey. I mean, this is fire. I'm jealous. I'm not going to Mexico City. Okay, first and foremost. So, add me to your close friends. I need to see all of the things.
All of the after party things.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's all for me. I've heard everything that I need to hear. Where can everybody follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Kristen Gonzales _. So it's like I kept my name really simple so that way you could always find me. And then I also run with Tortugas Run Club. So.
Awesome.
And we'll make sure to put that in the show notes for people to see what you're up to. But I think, I think from you just saying your story, I know that a lot has happened, but like, that's just inspiring to think about you coming just finding a sport, a way of moving your body that like has grown your confidence. I think is like the biggest takeaway for me always is a reminder of like running isn't just about like looking cute. It's about like, okay, I feel better about myself. And so I love that you're doing it for you, but also like spreading that into the Tortugas community and beyond that.
Yeah. And I always like want to like show people who are like bigger, like you could still run even though you're bigger. Like, don't let that like someone tell you you're not a runner just because you're bigger. Like we all start somewhere, just get moving. That's what I tell them. Like whether it's walking, jogging, whatever you got to do, just start.
Exactly. Thank you.
And if anybody listens to this, like this is a beautiful person. This is a community builder right here. Okay. There's no reasons why she should be working 2 jobs. Somebody pull up, give her a well-paying 40-hour a week job. Okay.
With the benefits.
Like with the benefits, preferably remote. Okay. So she can make it, so she can get her run on and still be with her baby. Like pull up. Okay. Like this is the type of person you want in your organization. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Listen, thank you for pulling up on us and sharing your story with us. We got to have you on again. I know there will maybe probably be a rematch after you get your steak. There's no rematches until you get your steak. But after that, maybe I could see that happen. So we're going to have y'all back on to talk about that.
And it might be sure. I think it'll be fun to hear too, like how Mexico City goes.
Yes.
I think that'll be a good story. Might have to have both you and Davey on.
He was so mad he couldn't be on with me because he's like, I need to defend myself. And I'm like, no.
Because he's been talking too much shit by himself on the news. No.
Yes.
Okay. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back. And that was an amazing conversation. I'm so glad that we had Kristen on. I know we had like so many requests to have her on to tell that marathon story and Shamrock Shuffle story specifically. So I'm glad that I got to hear it from her mouth. and firsthand, because that is hilarious. And also, David really, really had the nerve to try her.
Whole time. I didn't know he was going that hard. I didn't
He
know that.
was going hard. Seems like
I
it's a
didn't know
never
that.
ending thing. And then not to come through on the bet. Nah, can't
Bro,
do
come on.
that. Can't do that.
We shaming you on the podcast, bro. Get it together. Get a good steak, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So what's going on?
I swam today.
I swam today.
I have been swimming this week. I can't run. Running is
Oh,
not
right.
happening for me right now.
Yep.
So I've been in the pool. This is
Mhm.
my second day.
Do you cover your head up? Do you wear a swim cap?
Nah, I can't do it.
I'm saying you have some luscious curls on top of your head. I'm just,
I can't do
you
it.
don't
I
want to
need
dry
to.
it out. I feel like that's
need
the
to.
move. Keep
I can't
it
do
luscious.
I can't do it. I got the goggles. The goggles got like this. They really feel like outside swimming because they got like the UV protection from the sun. So they like kind of intense to
Yeah.
be in a pool on indoors. I just
Uh-huh.
add a cap on to that. Like that's a whole lot. But no, we co-washing on a regular, and then today I threw some shampoo in there to save it. Uh
Okay.
which y'all, come on, fellas, ladies, like slide in my DM. Like let me know. I
Not
need
the
some hair
slide.
products. Okay. Like I need a moisturizing situation up here. I don't want to go back to my old products, like with all of the chemicals in it. I need some natural stuff, to help right here. Actually, shouts out to Nia. Like Nia, like I just put on Twitter, right? I was like, I need a supplement that will
Mhm.
help me focus so I can work longer, right?
I saw
Because
your tweet.
right.
You said
Shorty ain't even
anything but Adderall.
yeah, don't say Adderall, okay? Like we not doing illegal drugs, okay? Like I don't need Adderall and I'm not gonna find a drug dealer to give me Adderall, all right? Like that's not what we doing. Um, but the homie didn't even respond to the tweet, just text me. Boom, 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 boom. This is what you need. So I went and got one of the products. Uh I think it's like Genius, like CBD, it's like some product called Genius or something. So I got that. I'm gonna be trying that out because like me even talking, like sometimes I forget that the people listening to this podcast are not privy to other conversations that we have. I
Nope.
just be on here talking about it without
Yeah.
a whole lot of context. But
Yeah.
we are hitting goals. Okay. Like there is nothing stopping us. Like if I gotta pop a natural pill, if I have to pop a pill, okay,
Or drink one of
then
them drinks that Kristen is drinking. Okay.
we are getting things done. If I gotta go and swim laps at LA
Yeah.
Fitness, we are getting things done
The miles are
every
coming in.
single day.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah, well, and we talked about accountability partners and how like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to start adding you on my stories when I work out, not just runs, but just general workouts. Cause I have my highs and then I have my lows. And then sometimes when I'm like, I'll like this week, I've been hitting my classes at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I've already done 3 hikes. Okay. It hasn't even been 7 days. All right. Like it's crazy. Like when the motivation is there, it's there. It's also like, like the phases of the menstrual cycle, the monthly cycle, like there's phases to this, right? So I definitely am in a phase where I have the energy. Okay. And so I have to allow myself to move through that. But then also when I'm not feeling it, like I can still go to yoga. I can
Right.
still do, because like I have so much fun in like the core power yoga, like the strength classes that they have. That shit is so much fun. So
Yeah.
much fun. And
I'm gonna get there.
I go to the one in Culver, and that one has a whole bunch of like, because it's like the Apple headquarters is there and the Facebook headquarters is there. So I can tell it's like a lot of those. And then it's like we're just like in class, like getting it in. There's like guys in there getting it. I'm like, I know, you're getting it in before work, and it's
Right,
like
right, right,
it
right.
feels good. I like, and also there's just no excuse. There's no excuse.
Exactly. That's what
Even
we
when
was
you
talking
think there
about.
is an excuse, figure it out.
There is nothing like, even if it's like we was talking about it, even if it's 30 minutes, like of course have your rest days. I'm not saying like, overtrain or anything like that, but consistency is what is going to get us over every single hurdle that we face and stuff like that. And so it's like, okay, like I can't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every 5 days out of the week. I just realized that about myself. We very similar. My life is a culmination of sprints. Okay. That's what my life is. I have no idea
It's a
how I'm.
sprint, rest.
You feel me? I have no idea how we have been able to achieve the things that we have achieved this way, but I'm old enough to realize that this is also probably not going to change. So,
No.
how do we turn that rest into an active rest?
Exactly.
And that's just simply, and it's just simple. Like, okay, I can't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go on this freaking run and stuff like that. I just don't have that energy today. I can't do it today. Okay.
Right.
Like, I need to be in this bed for another hour and a half, 2 hours. So later on, I'll try to get that run in and I'll just make time later in my day. Or if not, it's also a 30-minute hit session right on one of these apps on my
Yeah.
phone. I have
Yeah.
several apps on my phone where I can pull workouts from, mobility, strength, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just commit to doing at least one of those if today is your day of activity. And it all accumulates. It all helps each other out. It all benefits each other in some kind of way. Just
Yeah. I
staying
mean,
consistent with
movement.
those days of activity.
Yeah. And it's like, too, when you are resting, you can do some mobility, like move that hip joint around.
Yeah. I do
Okay.
mobility. Well, I try to do mobility almost every
Every
single
day.
night.
Well, then I mean, yeah, like get that stretching, because that is work in
Yeah.
some way, right? So,
Yeah. I do the foot joint. It's like a 5-minute foot mobility thing. And I just be like
uh-huh.
playing with my toes and move my toes around and my arches. It's so fun. I love
You
it.
and Karen with your feet, like I need to get one of those toe separators that Karen got.
I don't even use that. That's all her. It's
No,
so wild.
I know. Because when we were doing TSP and she had her toes, you were like, "You got your toes spread out, babe. You good? What else you need?" And I was like, "This is them. This is how they are at home. This is entertainment." I was like, "Okay." He be taking care of her. He love her. He love him some care. And I'm like, you know what I mean? She's over here coming down the ladder. She's like, "Yeah, I'm okay."
Don't be talking about us, man.
I was like, "They're cute as hell."
Man, I be
Wow.
looking out, man. That's my baby. You
Yeah.
feel me? I make sure she's straight.
Yeah.
But nah, them toe spreaders are
I
like
need that. Well, I asked her about it and she was like, we're in shoes all day and your toes get squished together. And so like when you spread them out, it helps like realignment of your feet. And I was like, okay, let me get some of them.
you know. We slowly investing in different recovery tools. Like this is the little thing I know I showed it to you. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but it's like it's like a rocker for your
Uh-huh.
foot and you put your foot on it and you're able to get like a really good stretch and like
Oh,
that.
I love that thing.
Yeah, and then you like go forward. So like that's my next purchase. Have one of those in the house. Like
Yeah.
because I get a lot of tightness in that Achilles
Mm-hmm.
calf area. And that stretch is like amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Need some
like that.
affiliate links. We gotta start dropping these links in the bio.
I know. I mean,
Some
because
Amazon
we
affiliate
putting
links.
y'all on. We need to start an Amazon store, matter of fact. Matter of
Right.
fact.
Right. Right.
Okay.
But it
Runners
is.
Club podcast, Amazon store.
There we go.
Everything you
But
need and then some.
what are what are some activities what are some things that you like to do when you don't feel the motivation to do like your core activity? Like if your core activity is running, you got like these speed workouts and these long runs. On
Yeah.
the days where you just cannot power through getting out
Mhm.
of their bed to do that, what are some auxiliary things that you like to do?
Walk my dog, go to the park, throw a frisbee around.
Okay.
I like that's the thing is I think lately though, because okay, the past 3 weeks I've had family in town.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law got married in Santa Barbara.
Boom, 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 boom. Shouts out to her.
I talked about that. Charlotte and her boyfriend Tebow just got back in
What's her
Sweden
boyfriend
yesterday.
name?
Tebow. T
Tebow.
Thibaud. That nigga is
Oh,
from Brussels. No. Is it Brussels? Belgium. But when I heard it first, I was like, that makes me think of Friday. Tebow. You know what I mean? But Teebs, yeah.
Okay.
He's Belgium. And yeah, so that, and it's like, and of course we love them. They can say whatever. It's not an excuse because I was still getting up, going to my yoga, my Pilates class and stuff like that. I think that's what it is. If I know that I'm not in the mood to run in that like phase of the week or whatever, or the month, I'm just like, kind of just want to go to Pilates because then at least I'm like working on my mobility and my strength at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's really pushing me. And then like hot yoga really just like exhausts me.
Right.
It's like, I just feel really cleansed afterwards. So, I mean, there's that. And I think I'm just figuring out different ways. I haven't like yet figured out what I want to do. I think what I need to do though is come up with some like 5K plus routes from my house that go through the neighborhoods that are around me. Cause I'm like around Leimert Park, Crenshaw district, and then View Park, but View Park is so hilly. So I'm just like, how do I think I'm going to have to like do that or like hit the Kenneth Hahn Park and stuff like that. Yeah. And hiking. I
Are
think
you
hiking.
biking out there?
No, I don't have a bike yet. I need to get one.
What happened to your bike?
We left it in Chicago.
Where? Did you give it to somebody?
It was in our basement and we
You
left
suck.
it. I know.
Why
I should have
didn't
probably.
even you say? You should have said something.
We were moving across the country. There was a lot happening. I literally was going to be like, oh, I should text. I literally said to Matthew, I was like, I need to text Ian and let him know that my bike is down there. And it just never happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There's like a whole bunch of bikes down there from other tenants that just have not taken it with them or they forgot it,
You should just call and just see.
I know if it's still there. It's such a cute bike too. But yeah, I mean, technically with Matt's, I don't know. So I'm like, yeah, biking would be good, but biking's kind of, I would need to probably take my bike to the waterfront and then hit the boardwalk with it, because it's more flat. Like I'm not in a place where I'm trying to hit these hills with my bike. You know what I mean? Like, or go downhill with my bike. Like that just feels like a lot. I feel like it's kind of dangerous.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's the hiking is really my steez. Like I really think like especially if I can do like me and Tashelle have been doing trail runs. And so like if I'm yeah, sorry for the okay, just stopped abruptly. Sirens.
You can't hear what you hear.
Okay, because I'm like, this is loud as hell. Like, yeah, this is distracting me. So yeah, so me and Tashelle, who I trained with for the LA Marathon with, her and I started doing trail runs. And so like we've been hitting up different trails, and it's like the incline that is like 800
You live in a mountain.
I know.
You live in a mountain.
In a fucking mountain. Like the Andes Mountains, like just like it's crazy. So like anyway, so we're especially up in Malibu, like going over there, like hitting a trail that has like a net incline of like, or like an incline of like 800 to like 1200 feet, like, and then running that, like, it's crazy. And then running down that, I fell last time and my knees, like, but not my knees fucked. I just like scabbed my knee. It was, I was having too much fun on the downhill. I was like flying. It was amazing. The last one we did, it was like super foggy out, and because the incline was like 1200 feet up, we got above the clouds. And because it was low, the clouds were low, and it was early. So then event, and I was like, dang, it's like one of those foggy days. But like we kept going, and then before we knew it, I was like, wait, so we're in the fog. The fog. Oh, and it was sunny, beautiful, sunny, just gorgeous up there. I was like, this is what's giving me life these days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. I'm here for the hikes.
Yeah. So I really would love for you guys, like any Chicago folks who are in LA, like I know y'all come for the races, y'all come for the experience, the LA vibes, but I would love to host anybody for a hike or a trail run when they visit. And I'm just extending that invite out because y'all got to see it.
Yeah, let's do it. Go out there, pull up on Courtney, send a little cute ass home. Yeah, it's a cute ass house.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah.
When you showed me on TV, it looked a lot bigger. For some
It's a
reason,
little
well, not on
tiny.
TV, but like on
Like,
FaceTime. But
yeah.
when you get there, it's actually still like a really good size, but it's like fucking cute.
Yeah, it's a tiny little cute house. Like it's not it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with my office upstairs in the attic, up a ladder. And yeah, like, and then
This
we
is
have
your
our patio on the side, which we still are gonna like work on our carport, which we're turning into a gym, and then we have a porch in our front.
That's gonna be the move, yo. When you
Mhm.
get the weights and whatever you need out there and the little
Mhm.
carport, turn that into an
Mhm.
outdoor gym,
Yeah.
it's gonna get crazy.
Just wait till I get a bike out there. I just thought, yeah, I need like a bike,
Like a stationary, like
weights,
one of them battle bikes,
like a
stationary bikes.
Peloton.
Ooh, okay,
Okay. I can get it,
okay.
that's what I'm trying to do. Something like that. I don't need a Peloton per se, but something like that I think would be great. A cool mirror
About one of them row
situation.
machines.
A
The little
row.
water on the
Matthew
front.
Matthew really wants a row machine.
Mhm. I
I
can see
feel like,
Matthew out there doing that
look at my
with his
dad
little white vest with
interrupting me.
baseball
Sorry, my dad FaceTime me. I'm talking. Anyways.
cap.
I swear, your parents when they call you and
Mhm.
it's like they don't think, they're like, I am the most important thing in your life because you're the most important thing in my life. So therefore, when I call, you answer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Does your dad do the double call?
Um, Sometimes if it's like very important, but not sometimes he just gets in his feelings.
Yeah.
And then I call him back and he doesn't answer. I'm like, bruh, I said I would call you right back. Like,
Okay, you're
chill.
right.
Like, I get it. I get everything. If everything's urgent with my dad,
Oh yeah,
everything.
yeah. We don't
So
say that our parents.
yeah,
We
but
slow down.
yeah, no. The row machine though, definitely want to get that. I mean, that might even come before the bike because Matthew
Yeah.
really wants it. So, um, yeah, I think it's just we're still getting settled. I'm trying to figure out a couple things. But come summer,
Mhm.
get it popping.
I love that. I love that
Yeah.
for you. Listen,
What's going on with you? You're not running.
no, I'm not fucking running. It
Yeah,
fucking
but
sucks. I
like
hate
you
it.
do.
I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like shit. Like I feel fat as hell.
No.
Yeah. I do, man. I fucking hate it, man. Like I
Mm,
need to run. I want to run. The sun is
yeah.
shining. This is my season. I should be
Yeah.
outside. I should be tanned,
Yeah.
tanned, and I should be getting these miles at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Okay, and like I said, I'm gonna keep talking about it on this podcast. I need that level of accountability. I need people to just hear this goal: 3:45 at the Philly Marathon is what we doing. So
And that is in November.
November,
Okay.
and so I'm out here, I'm swimming seems because like biking is cool, but like I'm not gonna get out here and just be biking, fam. Like I'm not just
Yeah.
looking for like first of all, I have a city bike, I have a road bike, so like I can't take this bike on some kind of biking trail and shit. And I'm also not gonna just be out here just biking. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. First of all,
Mhm.
the seat and my balls don't agree with each other. So just these long rides that's gonna take to increase my endurance. Like,
Padded
no.
shorts.
Huh?
Padded shorts, biking shorts.
First of all,
Go
no.
up to REI, figure
No.
it out, get you some
I'm
cycling
not putting on them.
shorts.
No, I'm not doing that
It's like
shit.
half tights with pads.
With the little thing in the middle, like
It's
all up
a
in your ass. Like,
it's not
that's
up
too
up in your ass, it's just up in your crotch and thigh area where all the pressure's at and gives you some cushion, in between so that
yeah.
you can give yourself some reprieve, some
No, I get you.
space, cushion.
No. Yeah, yeah, but then like yeah. I hate them shorts. I hate the way they look because then I got to get off the bike. Then like, what if I want to like stop and get something to eat? I'm just walking around with this thing. Like, no, that's just too much.
Lean
And
in,
then
get a top,
uh,
get the cycling
next thing,
shoes, become a cycler. That's all I'm saying. If
no,
you're gonna
I
go there, just
refuse.
go there.
I refuse. I
Not
refuse.
permanently, but just
I
in
refuse.
addition to
This makes me think about Brink. Did you ever watch Brink?
Brink.
The
No.
Disney movie with the skateboarders and the rollerbladers?
Why does that sound familiar? Is it animated?
No, it's a Disney like a Disney original movie.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
You had the beef between the skaters and the skateboarders, and the movie was like focusing like the main character was a rollerblader and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. And it was like, this whole like beef and shit. But like actually, no, that's not what the movie's about. The movie's about two rival skate crews, but like there was definitely like they
Skaters
don't
and
fuck with
rollerbladers.
skateboarders, you know,
Oh,
like we
okay.
don't do that shit. Same here. Like runners and bikers. Like either it's one side, okay? Pick one. All
You
right.
know, and since it's
I
and
don't know
since
how
we're
I don't
on
know
the
how Coach
topic
Robin does it. I don't know how Coach Robin does it. Like she has both of them in her
in the
house,
same
like
space,
in
yeah.
the same space at Edge Lounge, sharing space, and they like all friendly and they all like each
Because
other
a
and
lot
stuff
of them
like
are
that.
Iron Men and doing the whole,
Yeah. But out on these trails, out on these streets,
get out the
they don't get
way.
along.
Get out the way. I just want okay, since you're on the topic, I'll just say, you know, I think the thing is like I feel like bikers, I understand that they just want to rip it sometimes. I get it. But then it's like a lack of like patience, I think sometimes, because like they'll get like, say if there's construction happening on the lakefront or like on the path of whatever, wherever you are, whatever city, and you happen to have to be pushed onto the bike path. If they don't know, they'll be like, ugh, why are you over here? And it's like, my nigga, it's open space. Relax. Like, it's okay. Like, it's always, and the thing is people love to get buck when they know they don't have to be confronted. And so they're like zooming on their bike and then they'll be like, this is the bike path. But then they'll be like halfway up a block. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's low key a bitch move. And I don't respect it. Cause say that shit to my face and get off your bike. Cause then you're gonna have some words.
Unclip, nigga.
Yeah, unclip.
Right.
Say that shit to my face. Take your helmet off. Okay.
Come unclip. Like, let's go.
Let's go.
But that just means that we should just start running with like at least 2 tennis balls so we can throw it at their ass.
Like, really? Like, it's like, it's not okay.
Yeah. No, we don't condone violence for the bikers, but also don't be talking shit.
Yeah, it's respect each other. We all trying to get it in. We're all outside.
We all outside.
We all outside. Like, so, and sometimes people are gonna get in your way.
I'd rather get wet than put on a biking suit. So
you'd rather swim?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here for that. I got me some little cute shorts.
Okay.
I'm out here with my shorts on. You know, I got my swim trunks.
Are they like half tight swim trunks or what?
Nah, I haven't done that.
You need to be skin tight. I feel like you're flapping around with too much fabric if you're trying to get a workout in, you gotta be swift.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Cap, goggles, swim trunks. He's giving Michael Phelps, you know?
It's a lot going on down there to have tights and they be wet at the same time, you know, like maybe once I start swimming in the lake or something, but like just going to LA Fitness is just, I feel like trunks, you know, are excellent for, you know, the situations that I'm in. You know, it's just a lot. So
you heard it here, folks. Yeah. I don't know how y'all do it. I mean, I just feel like we could all benefit. I mean, we all benefit from hopping in a pool. But even just hopping on the bike every now and then, I feel like, you know, I'll do it. I'll do that.
I know I like riding my bike as a form of transportation, but just like I have somewhere to go. Like I'm going from point A to point B, but just getting out here the way I run, just like hitting the lakefront, I'm gonna go out 10 miles and come back. First of all, that ain't even good enough. I gotta go out 20 miles because it's a bike and you did the same workout. So I gotta be on that bike. If I want to run for an hour, I gotta be on a bike for 2. Like that's too much time. Like I got shit to do.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah, you know, I will say though, swimming is not like riding a bike.
Okay? No,
it is not.
In the sense that you just can do it.
I almost died. Okay, I was out of breath. My heart was racing. It was like do an easy pace, and the effort that was being given by my heart, the first 2 laps, the first 50 yards was fucking ridiculous. I couldn't slow down. If I would have slowed down, I'd have sank. But it was just like the amount of effort. Like my heart was racing. I was like, "This is a lot." But I will say, day 2 went a lot better. I do realize you don't burn as many calories as running while you're swimming, but I do feel like I'm building up my aerobic base, my heart, my lungs. You know, I'm just really focusing on increasing my rhythm of breathing and my lung capacity and stuff like that. So those are the things that I'm really focused on trying to save. So once I start running, you know, I'll have my lungs and I'll just be building back up my legs. So I'm enjoying it. I like it. I was in a pool full of, you know, grandmas earlier today. One of them got the courage to ask me about my tattoos. Say, hey, you know, some of us were just looking at your tattoo. I'm out of
What
audience.
tattoo?
I got this big ass tattoo, like right across my
right,
chest.
right. It's been a minute. It's been a minute for me.
Does it? All these other old white grandmas like, does it hurt? I was like, nah, it's cool. Like, I was like, it hurt a little bit around here, pointing my nipple. Like, it hurt a little bit around here. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Do you wait? And you're also, I mean, did you tell people that you're working at Edge?
Yeah, so I am. I'm coaching at Edge Lounge starting
Edge Athlete Lounge.
Edge Athlete Lounge starting in July. I'll be a coach up there, helping with their tempo runs and their long runs and stuff like that. Which is also like why I'm trying to like get this recovery, because like, when this was agreed upon that I'd be doing this, I was a runner.
Yeah.
And now I'm an injured runner. So I'm like, oh my God, Coach Robin, can I bring my bike to these workouts? She was like, yeah, totally. But yeah, I'll be out there coaching, helping people achieve their goals for this racing season. And it's gonna be fun. I look forward to offering what I have to Edge Lounge and to the runners there, but then also learning from the other coaches. I mean, Edge is known for their coaches, and I can't wait to learn as much as I can and just become a greater coach myself. I think I'm slowly getting into the idea of coaching. Like, I'm writing plans for the speed sessions for 7 on Sundays. We're about to start, and I'm kind of enjoying it and stuff. I'm just realizing that like I'm just going to fall into a bit more of a facilitator role versus just trying to show up and be active and run with people. Like just being on the side, like giving advice, cheering, like let's fucking go. Like, and then finding my own time to do the things that I need to do for myself,
Yeah. I feel like that's a sweet spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see do you see
what?
Daniel his Instagram recently? Have you seen
Oh my God. Karen was there when she was recording.
He said, step 1.
I wish I gotta figure out how to like add stuff to like YouTube videos and stuff like that. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's the running content that I need.
Yeah. So but yeah, that's all I got today. I'm trying to think. Oh, these weights are very chic. They're Bala weights. I mean, like these are like 2-pound weights. I just want to say these are weighted. I swear to God. I swear to God, they're weight.
Those are not weights.
Look at me. You see that effort?
Show the weights to the camera. Y'all can on YouTube. Show the weights.
Look, these are weights.
Comment if y'all think those are weights.
These are weights. These are weights. They come together like this. And these are 2 pound each, but Bala has like other stuff like that. But it's like super cute and chic. And I just put them over there. And they also have these things that go around your waist. So like sometimes when I'm just like in between meetings, if I need to like do a quick pump.
Just a quick pump.
I get it in. Okay.
Oh, those things like I need to blur them out.
No. Oh my God. See, this is the problem because y'all have these minds and it's a weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's my Courtney share for today.
That's the Courtney share. Courtney sharing the unmentionables on the podcast show.
What? Go to Bala. Find some chic weights to add to your collection. They can go in your office.
How big do they get? No. No, like weight-wise.
I don't know. Like
do they
10,
still
12
have the same shape,
15.
even if it's like 50 pounds?
I think it changes. Like I think maybe because I think it's like they probably I don't know how they get because the weight it's in there, and so it's like I'm assuming they can easily just like whatever. I don't know what the fuck. I feel like there's metal in here, and they probably increase the amount of metal to rubber, depending on the weight size. But yeah, I think it's all about like lightweight so that you can easily be functional with them on the regular.
But that's fire. Y'all go see Courtney's weights. It's all right.
Great. All right. That's another episode of the Runners Club podcast. Make sure to follow Kristen and Tortugas and like and subscribe. And send us your questions. Love you so much. Have a great week. Get these miles.
Peace.